move on to our topic of the week. The government is seeking for a way out to help the country's ailing textile industry to survive amid the influx of cheap foreign goods. Many textile factories have been closed, resulting in a wave of layoffs.
The Indonesian textile industry has been in a difficult environment for years amid the lack of efficiency and the influx of foreign products into the domestic market. Earlier this year, the government issued Trade Minister's Regulation No. 8/2024 to help textile-related industries survive in the cutthroat competition. Instead of helping the national textile industry, the policy makes the industry even powerless in competing with foreign goods, not just in the international market, but even in the domestic market. It has caused the closures of tens of large textile factories, resulting in a wave of layoffs. The Trade Minister's Regulation No. 8/2024 was issued to revise the minister's previous regulation, which imposed a stricter procedure on import by adding a technical requirement called PERTEC. However, the easing of import procedures as the result of the issuance of the Trade Minister's Regulation 8 has put the textile industry in even more difficult situation due to the influx of cheap textiles products from China. Since the regulation was implemented on May the 17th, more than 10,000 containers of imported clothing from China have flooded the local market. The domestic textile industry is unable to compete with imported goods, which are not only cheaper but also better in quality. The companies that are inefficient and cannot compete will eventually die. A report published by the Indonesian Textile Association in 2024 shows that 30 textile companies have stopped their operations because of this policy, resulting in 7,200 employees losing their jobs. On the other hand, the Confederation of Indonesian Workers Union reported that since the beginning of this year, around 13,800 workers at textile and clothing companies have been laid off. It cannot be denied that the textile sector is still one of the main pillars of the Indonesian manufacturing industry, providing employment for thousands of workers and supporting the local economy in various regions. Meanwhile, Industry Minister Agus Gumiwang Kartasasmita has blamed the Trade Minister's Regulation No. 8/2024 as the culprit of the problems and has proposed to President Joko Widodo for a removal of the regulation. He wants to reinstate the previous ruling, the Trade Minister's Regulation No. 36/2023, to replace it. However, Trade Minister of Trade Zulkifli Hasan rejects the proposal submitted by the Industry Minister. He instead proposes for the imposition of safeguard import duties and anti-dumping import duties of up to 200% to unimportant textile-related products to protect local industry. Separately, INDEF senior economist Faisal Basri highlights two factors which make Indonesian textile products powerless in competing with foreign goods. The first problem is inefficiency, as most of textile factories in the country still use outdated technology, while the second one is the influx of cheap foreign goods, including those illegally imported from China. The local industry is now waiting for the government's new policy to protect their business. However, the imposition of high tariff is not enough in providing a lifeline without assisting them to renovate their old technology.
Now on Economic Outlook today, we have Bapak Retma Gita Wirawasta, the chairman of the Association of Synthetic Fiber Producers, where Bapak Retma will share his insights on the problem currently faced by the country's textile industry. Pak Retma, thank you so much for spending your time here on Economic Outlook. At least at the moment now, there are 30 textile factories that have been closed lately, causing thousands of employees to lose their job. Pak Retma, can you please elaborate on the real condition of our textile industry at present?
Yeah, actually after COVID, after the pandemic, in 2022, the first quarter and second quarter, our industry has in good condition. Even some company there's a problem in cash flow, but our growth of industrial growth, textile industrial growth is has positive 8% growth and 13% growth in quarter two. Yeah. But in quarter three 2022, it's start to there is some issue like war in Ukraine and Russia, and then Chinese product start to come to our market. This is very cheap, especially for the illegal import. It's very cheap. So some company have to compete with them, and how to compete? They also sell some their product below the production cost, and then after that it's happened 1 year in 2022, and of course when you sell your product in below the production cost, your cash flow is will be a problem, right? And then some company they decrease their production, and of course when they decrease the production, they have to lay off some workers.
Exactly.
And then it's happened in 1 year in 2023, and then in early 2024, the company they give up, and then they have no more cash flow, and then they close. So some company like you said, 31 company they close their factory because they have no cash flow anymore, and the other one they have still cash flow, they still running, and still the same the condition, they have to sell their product in below the production cost, and it's matter only time. Yeah.
Exactly,
how
Pak
they
Retma.
can
just listening to you talking about the condition here, this is really a big concern for all of us, because of course we want our own textile industry to grow, but then we're being very much outbeaten by the imported products, especially from China just now, as you mentioned. Now, the Trade Minister Regulation number 8, 2024 has been issued to improve the textile-related industry seems to be blamed as the main source of the problem. Do you think so? What is the problem right here?
I think this is not the main problem, because
not the main
problem, because this issue has been ongoing for 2 years, like I said, it is 2 years, and in 2023 in October, our President Pak Jokowi ordered their ministry to control the import. And then in December, Ministry of Trade they published Permendak, trade regulation number 36 2023 to impose some restriction for the import regulation. And but because the dynamic of the in our market, some of course when you restrict the import, some importers they against for this issue, and then do not agree, and it's make our port in Tanjung Priok, Tanjung Emas, and Tanjung Perak, there's stagnation. They say the stagnation of container, and our ministry, Trade Ministry, they published the Permendak 8 2024. But I think this is not of course some company or some people say that this the cause of the source of cause of the layoff. But I think I'm not agree, because this is only one side. There, I said that there's effect of Permendak 8 to our industry, but the main problem is an illegal import. So I think we have to more focus to solve the problem about the illegal imports.
Okay, so the main issue here is actually the illegal imports.
Yeah, right.
Okay, making the prices too cheap, and it's not a fair competition anymore.
Yeah, because
for our local producers.
Yeah, they do not pay taxes. They do not pay duty, because like garment and clothing. The duty, there's we call it a safeguard duty. It's about 50,000. I think the Minister of Trade say before in some media. It's about 50,000 per piece.
I see.
When there is import goods sales below 50,000, like if you go to the Mangga Dua or to Tanah Abang, there is a Guangzhou center. I forget. They sells 100,000 for 6 piece. It's very very cheap. I can say that this is illegal import because the duty, the taxes is 50,000 per piece.
It's not a fair game.
Not fair
indeed.
game.
Now then, in your opinion, with the situation currently happening, I'm sure the government is actually aware of what is happening. So then, what would be like the short-term measures that the government can do to resolve this problem before more factories, textile industries go down?
Yeah, government is very very understand. They know about where this problem, because we have talked, we discussed about this problem since 2022 in November, I think, 2022, and the government we elaborate all case, and then we have in result that okay, the main problem is domestic market, and what the problem in domestic market is the illegal import. So I think government must focus to do illegal import. And when Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Trade make a task force, task force to for the illegal import that has flooded our market, but not in the gate, but in the market. I think this is one of solution. I think it's a good solution. But we have not to forget also that the main problem in the gate. I mean in the port, the illegal import goods is came from the port. That I think the Directorate General of Customs have to improve their work. Because the main problem in the port.
They need to be more strict with the products coming in, and perhaps impose some penalty.
Yeah, impose some penalty
and illegal imports.
Yeah, and I said that Minister of Finance have to clean up the Director General of Customs, because there is many people inside. They also cooperation with the of course entrepreneur, the businessman that practically the illegal import. Like we said Indonesia is import borongan. What's in English? I don't know. It's import borongan is if you came with one container, they do not count what the inside of the container. They only pay now the rate about 150 million rupiah per container.
I see.
Because in the procedural way, you have Ministry of Director General of Customs have to count one by one heads code and one by one tax good. I think when this modus always happen, I think it will be more and more illegal import came to our market.
Of course, it's a big loss for us.
It's big loss, big loss for government, because they do not pay tax, and then big loss for us because we have to compete with the illegal import.
I see. You make it sound like this is like such a public secret. This, like it's very concerning.
It's a public secret.
Okay. Now, the Trade Minister Zulkifli Hasan has proposed to charge import tariffs of up to 200% on imported textile products. Do you think this tariff measure will help then?
Yes, of course, it will help to control the legal. One more.
The legal.
To control the legal,
imports.
it will help. But we are the member of WTO, right? And then when we impose the tariff, we have to follow the procedure of the WTO rules. We can we can impose with the safeguard measure or the anti-dumping measure, and it takes some procedure we have to follow. Yeah. But I think one more that the illegal import must be more government must be focused how to solve the problem.
Okay. Now let's talk about another side of this issue. The influx of cheap foreign goods is not only the problem, although it is the main problem, as you mentioned. Some say that the main source of the problem is also the inefficiency, because manufacturers in Indonesia are still using old machines. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, yes, I think in the last week, we have discussion in KSP, the presidential office. Yeah, there is some an analysis from Universitas Pajajaran expert that actually our textile industry is very efficient. Yes, there is a problem. There is an issue that our machinery is very old, but I think the existing company now after COVID, they are a very efficient company because why the inefficient company that they do not do the modernized machinery, they have closed. They has closed in before COVID.
I see.
And
they
then
couldn't compete.
Yeah,
okay.
They actually we can compete, but some importer, some trader, they always use this issue to attack us. Yeah, that to legalize their what they do. Yeah, to import the cheap product from China. I think this is not the main issue, yeah. Because even we have efficient and we have a good machinery, very modern machinery. If we have to compete with the illegal, we cannot compete. Okay. Yeah, but if we compete with the import and they came to Indonesia with the legal way. They pay tax, they pay duty. I think we can compete with them. But to compete with illegal product, I think it's very hard. Yeah.
It's a different game.
It's different game. Yeah, different playing field. I think. Yeah.
All right. Now speaking as the chairman of the Indonesian Association of Synthetic Fiber Producers, what would you say to the government? What needs to be done by the government to make this industry to withstand this competition?
Yeah, I think this is the simple. Yeah, actually this is the simple. Yeah, maybe some
simple
people
solution.
Simple solution. Yeah, maybe some people say this is very complicated, and I think not complex. Yeah, the complicated is because the following because the main problem they follow, but like we cannot make the research and development, some banking and trust to our sector. Yeah. Because the main problem is we cannot compete in the local market.
Yes.
The main problem why we cannot compete because we have to compete with the illegal. If we compete with the illegal, we can compete. Yeah. So the main problem is the illegal. So I think we always ask the government to solve this problem.
Okay. All right. Bapak Retma Gita Wirawasta, thank you so much for sharing your time as well as your perspective with us on Economic Outlook, and we'll talk again next time.
Thank you.